3DO.
Hey there, welcome back to another gameplay of mine. Oh no, I don't want to see this.
7 weeks have passed since
I'm
we
sorry. There's a new gameplay I'm playing right here, and I tried it in English this time. I'm not very good in English. It's not the language that I was born and raised in. But anyway, I tried, and it's kind of exercise for me. All right. So this is a rather old game for those who should not know this game. It's Heroes of Might and Magic 3. It was originally published in 1999. And it was published by 3DO originally, and it was developed by New World Computing. I assume they are both defunct organizations right now. Nowadays, it has been acquired by Ubisoft. Right now, there are two versions of this game out there, and because they re-released this game as a high-definition version and with modernized graphics. And because of it, I think it's so popular and it has a large fan base. Probably that's the reason. But unfortunately, this re-release from 2015, it lacks two very important components. In my view, the two most important things of this game, Heroes of Might and Magic 3. These are two add-ons, and the first one was Armageddon's Blade, released in 1999 as well. And the second add-on was The Shadow of Death from 2000. So I'm playing the original version with both add-ons included, and not the modern high-definition version because of additional content that was brought to this game with these add-ons. So I would never want to miss this additional content. And I think I'm not trying to explain too much of this game, and so I think I'm gonna hop right in. But I would like to just say the reason why I think this game is still great and it's cool is because, well, it's not a game of superior graphics. And there are many kinds of monsters and heroes that are battling each other in the course of the gameplay, and nothing of this is really in any way depicted in a way that would you think, wow, look at this, and you see a monster battling someone else, and I don't know. This is not about special effects, and this game it needs a lot of, I think, love for this kind of game. It's rather a kind of civilization game, and I think it needs a lot of imagination. And this game, while it includes a lot of mythical stuff. So you have heroes, you have your own towns or your castles, and you have to recruit troops, and you have to try to conquer the world map, with your troops and your heroes. And there are so many references to, I would say, real world myth. And this is like you can recruit angels, and you can have, as another faction, you can have dragons, and there are trolls, and there are dwarves, and there are unicorns, and there are goblins, and so there are 9 factions. And it is another reason for this complete version, because a 9th faction was introduced only by, I think, the first add-on, that's Armageddon's Blade. And so I would miss this 9th faction. And I'm playing against AI, so computer opponents. And I think I'll just hop into a map creation. Let me see, single player scenario. All right, and this is another thing that is pro for complete version, and this random map generator. So normally you would have available scenarios, and you could choose one of them. And I think it's a pretty long list, but no. Random map sets you really in a random map, and you can just try to challenge the whole computer factions, and it's really absolutely depending on your skill and your thoughts and your tactics you're using if you really want to win this game. All right, I'm playing on an extra large map. I will have, of course, the underground level, so this makes 2 levels of this XL map. And I'm playing one human player, no teams for human players, computer only players, 7 others. So this is the maximum number, although there are 9 factions. And the computer only teams, no teams for computer. I play without any water content. Water content would be possible, but so there's a kind of ocean, but only thing you can do on this ocean is, well, there are 2 or 3 things to discover, but you normally will just use the ocean to move on it with your heroes and troops in the ship. And I think this doesn't add a lot of, well, suspension. Well, the monster strength. It is important. There are random monster hordes placed on the map and at the beginning of the game, and I want to have kind of small, well, let's say challenge. All right. Okay. This is the main difficulty selector, and I'm playing on, I think, hard difficulty. That's enough for me. So I already made a let's play of this game, a gameplay of this game, and this is my second run. And in my first run, I played on 200%. Well, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, there's this statement tells you what this difficulty means, and the second phrase, or the second part of this phrase, and the computer plays to the best of its abilities. This only changes from computer plays poorly and easy, normal, and the computer plays reasonably well, and hard means the computer plays to the best of its abilities, and this is the same for expert, computer plays to the best of its abilities, and impossible difficulty. And the difference between this hard and expert and impossible is, well, in impossible, the player starts with no resources. There are, well, I think there are 6 resources, plus gold is another resource. There's wood and ore, the standard resources, and there are 4 precious resources like gems and jewels and crystal and sulfur. I hope I'm correct with that. So I'm not going to play once again as I did in the first run on 200%. I'm playing with 130%, so the player and the computer starts with the same resources. That's alright for me. Okay, advanced options. I want to play against computer, and you can choose from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 9. Conflux is the 9th faction that was added with the first add-on, and right click always is kind of pop-up tooltip, and you can see the monsters. You can your minions you can recruit, your army, and for every single faction it's completely different. And this is one thing that makes this game so great. They are really different, those factions, but I think they are, in another way, they are well balanced. So, and this is what I meant about they are also inspired by real myth because as you can see here, for example, you got Naga. This is the 1 to 34 6th level monster of this faction. And Naga is derived from Indian mythology, I think. So, and you got genie. I think this is rather from Middle East mythology. You got giants, and this giants come from probably Greek antiquity, and the golems come probably from Jewish. I think in the Bible you can have references to golems. This is incredible, and to see all those monsters assembled and fight against each other, this is the thing that makes this game very special. So they got so much mixed in this game here of fantastical figures. So it's This is the thing that really, yeah, this boosts me. I don't know how to say. All right, and last time I played with, I don't know, I think I played with Tower, and this time I'm going for Rampart. I think I never liked Rampart too much. This is kind of the wood elves, and you have centaurs, dwarves, wood elves, Pegasus, and dendroid guards, so tree men, unicorns, and green dragons. This is the highest tier unit you can recruit. And I'm start with green dragons there. Normally, it's for beginners. It's probably best to have this castle, and this is with angels, pikemen. This is like the human faction, right? Rampart is the wood elf faction, and Tower is kind of magician faction, mage faction, and you got Inferno. This is devil or hell faction. Necropolis is the well, the necromancer faction. Dungeon is this is great. You got minotaurs, manticores, medusas, beholders. So this is an incredible mix of all kind of myths. This is I like this faction. This is the stronghold faction, and it reminds me of, I think there have been like a movie like a Conan the Barbarian, and this may be inspired by these things. Fortress is like all kinds of snake-like monsters, hydras, basilisks, serpent flies, wyverns, and this is like the swamp faction. And conflux is all of the elementals: water, air, fire, earth, even psychic elementals, and you got a firebird, probably the phoenix. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I said already I wanted to play with this run. I'm gonna play with Rampart. I always try to choose a special hero for starting, as you can do. And I'm going normally always with one who is like with who brings you a bonus. Every hero has a specialty, as you can see. This lady has fortune. Oh, Alaga, a druid. Normally I would go with, well, let me see. It's her. This is a good specialty to start with, to have a hero who boosts your money income by 350 gold every single day. But I think I'm going with, I wanted to have a good magician with, I really wanted to do, so normally for every faction there are two kinds of heroes. For this wood elf faction, it's like, for this rampart faction, it's like you can have druids, and the other was this another druid, or rangers, all right? And I want to have a kind of druid, so a magician with a nice damage dealing specialty, icebow. I think I'm going with Alaga. So normally I just fill up with all those other factions, but this time I go and I think I try to mix it up a little bit, because sometimes I'm not quite sure if this is already always randomly generated, or otherwise I would know, all right, if this faction is there, then this is the next one there. And so I always try to just make a kind of, I don't know, let's say this, and now the first one properly, and I got, which is one is missing, strongholds. Yeah, let's put Inferno there. And what's missing? No, stronghold properly. Yeah, right. And I got fortress, tower, castle. Well, let's make it castle there. And Inferno, and oh wait, castle, Inferno still there, and I got, so what's missing? Dungeon, and stronghold is missing as well. Oh, so now I think it's just dungeon. Fortress, Tower, Necropolis. This should it be. Well, only faction that's missing because they added a 9th one, but they only got 8 players on the map. It's Conflux, but I'm not putting it on the map. And there are many towns that are not occupied, but they nonetheless belong to a faction. So they are part of a faction, and I think it's very likely that there can be a town of Conflux to be found on the map. So I just have to put in dungeon would be missing. Right. Starting hero, starting bonus, I leave up to the AI. And I'm going with gold, yeah. Alright, that's all the settings. I'm just playing on 130%, not 200%, but the computer should play to the best of its abilities, and the only difference is I have the same resources as the computer. Okay, that's it. I just hop right in and, well, let's see.